What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Sports. What a great night to watch the Warriors as we get another win against the New York Knicks. But before that, everybody out there, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and come on in and get comfortable. We're going to talk Warriors basketball. I'm going to make an announcement. I have definitely locked in a date with Damon Bruce here on this podcast, Thursday, 12:30 live. Be there. Watch the podcast. It's going to be a lot of fun talking with Damon Bruce. I've been just waiting for this moment to be able to have a conversation, interview with him for a long time, and luckily making that happen now is just awesome. So looking forward to Damon Bruce next Thursday, 12:30, guys. Check it out. Podcast will be live, and we will see you then. Until then, Warriors get a win tonight against the Knicks at home, 97-94. They didn't break 100, but they played pretty damn good. And, guys, they've won like 11 out of the last 12, I believe, games. Once Jimmy Butler got onto this team, it was like no looking back. It is fantastic. So before we do too much, let's just note a few things. Steph Curry the other night got over 4,000 threes, which is absolutely amazing. Obviously, that's a record in the NBA, and nobody could even come close to that, I don't think. Who knows in the future what will happen, but absolutely amazing. Also, on a side note, Steve Kerr has become the winningest coach in Warriors history with 557 wins. Fantastic, awesome, made man, not going anywhere. I know when the Warriors were losing a little bit, people were talking about, well, how many more years does Steve Kerr have left with this Warrior team? Well, let me answer that question with a positively undoubtable answer, which is whenever the hell he wants to leave, he'll leave, and he can stay for as long as he can until then, as long as he wants until then. So, hey, let's cheers to the Warriors getting another win. Little sip of the day for you. That's a Damon Bruce special for you, but that's a beer, not a coffee. But anyway, I'll tell you right now, Warriors are looking hot, and what can I say? I'm just so happy to be talking about a team in the Bay that's just doing so phenomenally well. I know I've been up and down on the Niners, mostly down for the last year, and with the Warriors playing badly for a while there was not a lot of good things to talk about in the Bay right now, but we sure as hell do now, right? So let's get into the numbers. Jimmy Butler had 33 minutes and 11 points. Not bad, but always a force on the court and always somebody that needs to be covered. And he leaves. Obviously, he's a good ball facilitator, good ball handler, and always finds an open man. Absolutely invaluable player for the Warriors. He's turned this whole thing around, and now we can start talking about a Warrior team that can possibly vie for a finals championship this year. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to jinx it, but it's starting to look awfully close to a championship-type team. Guy Santos is coming around and scoring a few more points. It was only 5, but he's on the board. He had 21 minutes and 5 points. Still, scrappy player, absolute scrappy player. Draymond Green out there doing his thing, 32 minutes and 9 points. Hit a couple threes. Steph Curry doing Steph Curry things, 35 minutes and 28 points. Not bad for Steph Curry. Moses Moody continues to play fantastic basketball. The more minutes Moses Moody gets in the starting lineup, the better he is going to be. And my feeling with Moses Moody from the beginning of this year is he could be the key as to why the Warriors win a championship this year. At least a big part of it. The other part would be Jonathan Kuminga if he comes around, which right now we're going to get into that. But Gary Payton II, 25 minutes and 6 points. Jonathan Kuminga, 20 minutes and 10 points. But what is great about Jonathan Kuminga now is that Jimmy Butler's on this team. He's taken a lot of pressure off Kuminga to be that guy. Now Kuminga can play freely and do what Kuminga does best, which is drive to the basket, take fouls, slam the ball, mid-range jumpers every once in a while. But by and large, he is the guy that drives directly to the hoop and either slams the ball, takes a foul, gets to the free throw line. The guy is able to play freer. He can hit three-pointers. I mean, not as great as I'd like, but Jonathan Kuminga might elevate his game a little bit with Jimmy Butler being here with the pressure off. Quentin Post, I'm still loving as a rookie, 19 minutes and 5 points, but he hit a couple of key shots that I was really happy with. And so, the Warriors are playing on fire. They continue to play on fire. And I don't think this is going away, guys. I really don't. This isn't like the beginning of the season when they rattle off like 11 out of 12 wins. Right now, they are just absolutely on fire. I think out of the 15 games, they've only lost 2, and I think they've won 10 out of the last 11 or so. So they are looking pretty good. Unfortunately, there are other teams that are right on their heels. Minnesota Timberwolves are not backing off and losing like we would like to see, at least. Denver didn't do any favors to the Warriors when they beat Minnesota the other night. But the Warriors won tonight, and so they still hold on to that 6th seed. It's a really, really scary situation here because I don't know about really scary. It's just that we don't have that 6th seed locked up like I would love to see the Warriors do. This is going to be a race down to the very, very last game, guys. The Warriors are 39-28, so we're getting down to it. And I don't see the Minnesota Timberwolves losing a lot of games. They have a pretty soft schedule to the end. The Warriors don't as much. I do like the Warriors' schedule. It's favorable, but we have to look out because the Warriors' schedule right now is kind of tough coming up on the next couple of games, okay? Like, not for the month, but the next couple of games, we've got some tough opponents. We got Denver next on Monday at 7 p.m. That's going to be a tough one. And then we got Milwaukee the next day. So back-to-back teams that are looking very, very good. And if the Warriors actually come away with 2 wins in a row against those guys, then you can start talking finals to me anytime you want, because that is when we can start saying, I'm going to start talking about it now. I don't care if they lose both those games or they win one or they win both. But if they win both, it's going to be kind of like the final, like, okay, this team is here and ready to go this year. I wouldn't have said that a month ago. I wouldn't have said that 2 weeks ago. But right now, the way the Warriors are playing, it is absolutely fantastic. It's like they've done a whole 180. They've figured it out with Jimmy Butler. They're playing a different brand of basketball. Steph Curry is getting more open three-point looks than he has all year with Jimmy Butler. And as long as Butler is healthy, that's not going to change, and the Warriors are going to have a very, very good shot at getting to at least the conference finals, I think, or the conference championship, I believe. Though obviously they got to go through the Lakers. I can't wait to see what that game looks like with Jimmy Butler now. April 3rd, they play the Lakers at 7. But by and large, from that point prior, we're looking at Denver and Milwaukee, which are 2 tough games. And then we got Toronto, Atlanta, Miami, New Orleans, San Antonio, Memphis. Those are all games right now the Warriors, I'm going to say, should win. I wouldn't have said that a month ago, but I will say that now. They should win those games. I feel like they should beat Denver. Milwaukee, kind of feel like they should beat Milwaukee too. It's hard to say. They're both home games, so that's on the Warriors' favor for sure, especially since they're back-to-back. And then Toronto will be at home. But then they're going to go out and play Atlanta on the road, Miami on the road, New Orleans on the road, San Antonio on the road, and Memphis on the road. And if they drop 1 there or 2 there, then I'm going to chalk that up to the Warriors just, burning the candle at both ends, trying to put together as many wins as they possibly can. Okay? So right now, they're rolling, guys. There's not much else I can say to that. I mean, there are players on this team that are stepping up that weren't stepping up before. I said it a few minutes ago. I'll say it again. Moses Moody is looking like a whole different player when he's been given minutes to play. Fantastic. Jonathan Kuminga, since he came back, it's only game 2, but looking like a different type of player. I didn't like his... I will say this. I was fine with his shot selection tonight. I was disappointed at some of those shots that he missed. This has been a Jonathan Kuminga thing for me forever, because everybody's talking like Jonathan Kuminga is the next big thing. And I do think he's a great supplemental player on this team and definitely wouldn't want to see him leaving. But he's not the leader of this team, and he never will be. He will be a good 2-3 man in the future. And right now, I just want to see him get those mid-range jumpers down. There's a couple of them that are not falling for him that I would hope, those that they would be automatic for him by now. He's shooting maybe 7-footers, and he's not draining those as many as I like. I like those to be more automatic, much like Jimmy Butler. But besides that, he's playing great basketball. He's playing aggressive. This is the thing about the Warriors right now. Jimmy Butler brought that attitude and that swagger with him to the Warriors. And right now, everybody on the Warriors is playing scrappy basketball. Players in particular, Guy Santos and Moses Moody are out there diving for basketballs, playing just on edge and, fast and hard. And that's what you want. Draymond Green has always played that way, so he will. And Jimmy Butler is just, what else can you say? He's a tough player. He is smart. He's got an amazing shot. He's one of the best players in the league. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? He's a great ball facilitator. He's a great passer. He sees the court better than anybody on the Warriors except for maybe Draymond, and probably maybe at this point better than Draymond. He changed the Warriors. Gary Payton II is always going out there giving 110%. That's never changed. And Quentin Post as a rookie is looking absolutely fantastic. That's your center of the future for the Warriors. You don't need to go looking outside this offseason for a center, if you ask me. You got Quentin Post, you got your center. Where I would love to see Quentin Post elevate his game just a little bit is in the defense. I think he gets pushed around a little bit, and I don't think he's quite, as a rookie, I just don't see him with the confidence in his defense at this point. But that does not mean that the defense isn't coming for him. He's a rookie still, but he's playing fantastic basketball for a rookie, and that's your center of the future. Just amazing. So, guys, everybody on this team is contributing, and they're continuing to win, and the pressure's on. The pressure is on for the Warriors because Minnesota keeps winning. I'd love to see Minnesota drop a game here. If we go back and look at the schedule and see when the next game is for Minnesota, it's tomorrow, but I don't know who they play. But I have noticed that basically, let's take a look here. We're going to look right now and see. I have noticed they have a softer schedule than the Warriors do. So it's concerning in that way. Let's see. Do they play tomorrow? They play the Jazz tomorrow. That should be a win for Minnesota. That should be an automatic win, basically. So, still going to be putting the pressure on the Warriors, and the Warriors got 2 tough games coming up. So when you look at the standings, let's just say, for argument's sake, the Warriors don't hold on to that 6th spot. I think that they can, and by the end of the season, they will. But even if they take the 7th spot, they got 2 playing games, right? So they got one to win. They just got to win 1 out of 2, and let's be honest. If it's Dallas, Sacramento, LA Clippers, and the Warriors are winning one of those 2 and probably the first one and getting into the playoffs anyway. So I'm not that worried if they take a play-in game to get in. They don't typically win play-in games, but they didn't have Jimmy Butler either. So it's my worries at the play-in type game is not there. Not like it used to be where, last year, where they lose to Sacramento, but they were never going to go, say they won that game and they made it to the playoffs, right? They were never going to go deep in the playoffs. They just didn't have the personnel, just like when they got into the playoffs and they played the Lakers and they lost. I mean, this is a different team this year, guys, and I truly believe this is a moment for Steph Curry to get that 5th ring. He deserves it. He deserves the credit. He deserves to be put up there in the talk of, he's not the GOAT, because to me, my era, I'm sorry, Michael Jordan will always be the GOAT. I never saw anybody obviously play before Michael Jordan, although I'm sure there were other players before him that could be thrown into that mix. I know that. But to me, Michael Jordan is a GOAT. He always will be. But there is one thing about Curry that, nobody else has ever done, and that's change the game. Change the game, guys. And I've talked about this for, off and on my podcast for the last year. And that is that you have a guy who changed the game, because my kids are out there shooting 3-pointers before they're shooting the fundamental layups and mid-range shots and free throws and things you teach kids. And I have to be out there telling my kids, hey, look you got to start from the front of the rim and move back and get your mid-range shots down, get your shot down. Don't just start hooking up 3-pointers the minute you get out there on the court before you even warm up. But that's what Curry's done to the game and to the world of basketball. Kids are doing this, right? Nobody has ever done that, okay? LeBron James has never done that. Honestly, Michael Jordan, Yeah, Michael Jordan taught people he could fly and that maybe they could too. So Michael Jordan maybe changed the game in that way. He showed people a different way to play basketball. Kobe Bryant, when Kobe Bryant came in the league, was emulating Michael Jordan's moves when he played against him and continued to do that and elevate his game to be the next best thing to Michael Jordan at that time. So Michael Jordan, I would say, changed the game because he brought Showtime to NBA. You know, not the Lakers. The Lakers did, but, I mean, it was when Michael Jordan played basketball. I'm a Warriors fan, but I was watching all the Bulls games. That's how good he was. I never did that with LeBron James, but then again, I'm an adult, and I don't like LeBron James. I don't like LeBron James. He plays the Warriors. I don't like him. Unless he's on the Warriors, I'm not going to like him. But anyway, I think he's a bit of a whiner. But anyway, that being said, Steph Curry should be talked about in the conversation with LeBron James. If he gets a 5th ring this year, all he's got to do is hold that hand up with all 5 rings on. That's all he's got to do, and the conversation is over. You know, it's just like I forget the movie. What was it? Bad Teacher or whatever. So the conversation with who was better, LeBron or Michael Jordan, and the kid was like, all you ever say is LeBron James got more rings. Well, that's the only argument I need. And guess what? If Curry gets 5th ring, all he's got to do is hold up that hand and be like, I did it 5 times on the same team. And that's the only argument I need. I am superior in this era. That's how I feel about it. Now, other people can argue that with me all they want. I have friends that argue that with me. I think Steph Curry is a more impactful player in this league than LeBron James is. LeBron James is bigger, stronger. I don't know if he's faster. I don't think he's faster, but he's bigger and stronger, and he did some things. But you remember when this conversation comes down to it in 10 years from now, when we're sitting here on the podcast and they're retired, and you think about every time the Warriors went to the finals and played the Cavs, who dominated those series? Who won? The Warriors won. Curry won, not LeBron James. LeBron James won 1 of the 3. And then LeBron James moved on to another team and built the super team, which should have won in Miami many, many times over, but didn't. They did win, but not as much as they should have. So remember, Curry didn't have to jump ship to other teams, too. He did it all at home. And now that's a great sign of the health of a franchise and the culture of a franchise. No doubt about it. But he still stuck around and did it, guys. And you can say what ifs all you want. What if he didn't play for this team? What if he played for some other team? That's in another world, another dimension, somewhere else, and we don't live in that world, and we don't live in that dimension. We live in this world where Steph Curry is a Warrior, and he's going to do it 4 times, 5 times, 6 times maybe. If they win this year and they get 5, I have a feeling they'll continue to roll and might even get 1 more before he's out of here. And by the way, he's slowing down, but not that much. Nobody's talking about Curry slowing down anymore, guys. Not now that he's got Butler, right? Not now that he's triple teamed. We could talk about in the beginning of the season to the middle of the season how Steph Curry's slowing down. He's not making as many 3-pointers. He can't move. Well, let me tell you, when you're triple covered and beat up every night, it'll do that to you. Even the best players in the league, it'll do that to you. So, is he slow still? Is he missing 3-pointers? Or is he getting back to his old Steph Curry self? I think it's the latter. I believe Steph Curry has got a lot of years left. I think he can get 5. I think he can get 6. If he gets 5 this year, I'm going to bet he's going to get 6. If he doesn't get it this year, then I'm going all in on him getting it next year because then you have Jimmy Butler for a full year on this team, and you're probably picking up a couple players in the offseason and retooling a little bit. I'm looking at the roster and maybe thinking twice about some of the players. I probably would keep most of the people on this roster at this point. Moses Mooney's doing well, unless you're talking about trading him for, I don't know who it would be. It would be him in a draft pick and something else for maybe an upgrade. I mean, crazier things have happened. I've seen Kevin Durant's getting traded, guys, this offseason. I don't know if he's going to come to the Warriors, but I think he's going to scratch his head and think a little bit about, hey, because even he's going to be ring chasing, guys. LeBron James is going to be ring chasing. if he doesn't get it this year with Luka, and Luka's a new man in the LA land, in La La Land, okay? LeBron James is not, he is handing the torch off to Luka now, whether he likes it or not. Those guys are going to be ring chasing, especially if Curry gets it now. Because if those two realize that Curry got it with Durant, without Durant, more without than with, after this year if he wins it, and LeBron has still got 4, not 5, he is going to be desperate for another championship before he leaves this NBA. And it's not going to happen with the Lakers, most likely. It may. Who knows? It may. The problem with LeBron on the Lakers is that he's getting old. He can't contribute like he did before. He's actually a liability now, more than anything, with the Lakers. If the Lakers are smart, they'd move off LeBron, get younger, keep Luka, and move forward, retooling that team, which is actually what I kind of expect could happen. But enough about those guys. Right now, we are just cheersing the fact that the Warriors are just the best team in the league right now, in my mind, aside from Cleveland, who is just tearing it up. I would love to see what the Warriors look like against Cleveland now that they got Jimmy Butler. That's a tall order. The Cleveland Cavaliers are very, very good. But aside from them, and I give a lot of teams respect, aside from them, there's not a team in this league I don't think the Warriors can beat. I think the Warriors have the Thunder's number. I really do. I think the Warriors have the Houston Rockets number. I really do. I think the Warriors can beat Boston in a playoff. I know they can beat New York, and they're the number 3 team. They did it twice already. I think the Warriors can beat Denver. I really do. There's not a team when I go down the list that I think the Warriors cannot beat. And guess what, guys? Guess what? The Los Angeles Lakers are 40-25, and the Warriors are 39-28. It wouldn't surprise me if the Los Angeles Lakers dropped off a little bit, guys. It just wouldn't. The Los Angeles Lakers are 2 games ahead of the Warriors. They're only 2 games ahead. And with this sprint at the end, the way the Warriors are running, if they win the next 2 games, if the Warriors win the next 2 games, guys, the Lakers are possibly in trouble of losing that 5 seed. And Minnesota is definitely in trouble of not getting back to that 6 seed. But the Warriors are the team right now to beat, guys. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Anyway, I love talking to you guys here. Remember, Damon Bruce, next Thursday, 12:30, right here on Sideline Bay Area Sports. Super jacked for that. Pumped. See you guys then, but I will see you before then anyway, because we got Niners football to talk about on Monday and all the craziness going around with that. Damon Bruce and I will be talking Niner football on Thursday as well. Maybe we'll sprinkle a little Warriors there. If I can sprinkle in some Warriors with him and talk Warriors and Niners, I will, because who knows if I'll get him on my show again. Hopefully I will, if I don't mess up the interview too bad. I think it'll go very well. And then we'll even try and get Guru back on. I haven't had him on in a little bit now. I'd love to get him back on the show maybe after that. So we'll see how it goes, but we got guests coming, guys, and they're all great people, very, very smart, sports minded players, people that are all here from the Bay Area, and I love talking to each one of them and picking their brain about what they feel is going on in the Bay Area sports world. I know I haven't talked much about Giants or A's. I will get to that, guys. I really will. There's just so many great things to talk about with the Warriors and so much news going on with the Niners. And Raider fans out there, I will get to that too. Geno Smith, big pickup. Great pickup, I feel like. And with Pete Carroll there, who knows how to use him, that's good news for the Raiders. That's really good news for the Raiders, I got to say. I like where they're going and the moves that the Raiders have made in the offseason. Until then, guys, just hit the like, hit the subscribe, keep watching. I'm going to keep making them. We're going to elevate. And remember, I'm always going to shoot you straight on what I think is going on in the sports world. I may not be right, but it is my opinion. And most of the time, I feel like I've got a good dial on what's going on. And this Warrior team's not slowing down. They might get a hiccup here in the next couple games because they've won a lot of games. And they got 2 really tough teams. But if they win, oh, man, it's a different world. It's a different world, guys. So let's see what happens. And until then, guys, hey, just remember, hard work beats talent. When talent don't work, I'm here working hard for you. You keep watching, and I'll keep working, and I'll see you guys in the next one.